friends. How's everyone today? Hope everyone is doing well. This is a cold day today in New Hampshire. I mean, I'm telling you, it's like a full day, and today is like May 21st. But it's fine. We had the fireplace on. And today, I'd like to introduce my neighbor and my friend Greg. And today, we're going to talk about senior dating. And I'd like to introduce my friend Greg.
Patricia, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome.
Looking forward to our conversation.
Yes, so am I. And I'm very happy that you're here because this is a topic that people really are interested in knowing about. Mature dating.
Sure, yeah.
And could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm going to be 60 this summer. Originally from New Jersey.
Nice.
Lived there about 56 years. And came to New Hampshire. My only relative is my sister, so I came up here. And I'm a therapist. And going to go back to work. Took some time off.
Yes.
So I'm going to go back. And it's certainly different.
Yes.
than New Jersey. I lived about half an hour from New York City.
Right.
So.
Right. You were in the heart of where he could go into the city in no time, and there was a lot to do. Because we live in a 55-plus community in New Hampshire, and we have a clubhouse here and a Nautilus room. But of course, Greg, it's not like being in New York.
Oh, nothing like that.
No. No. And what is your current status?
Currently single.
Okay. And are you actively pursuing a relationship?
Well, having just been here, I haven't really, hasn't been on my mind because I'm just trying to get settled here.
Right.
But I think I'll be soon looking for a relationship.
Good, good. And what qualities are you looking for in a person?
Well, for a petite person, because I'm not a very large man myself.
Right.
I have a small frame and
right.
not that tall, so. And looking for a cultured woman, someone to go out to the theater. I enjoy doing that, going to art museums.
Nice.
And
that's lovely.
Yeah, and someone who's kind.
Right.
If they have children, I would prefer them to be older children, out of the house.
Yes. Yes.
And I know at my age, I expect it, you know. I expect
right.
the woman obviously is going to have been married.
And have older children.
Right.
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 I mean, me never being married is, you know, that is not the norm. Most
right.
men at my age have been married and have children.
Right. So would you consider at all having a relationship with someone with little children if you were to find someone younger?
I would not, you know, I don't think I would want to date a woman under 55.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I think it's better that the children are out of the house.
Right. No, I understand that. So you can have time with the person that you're with and enjoy doing things together.
Right, and preferably she has a decent, amicable relationship with her ex-husband.
Right.
Because I don't want to walk into that.
I hear you. I would understand that would not be an ideal situation to walk into.
So, I mean, 55, I would say, to late 60s would be my age range.
Right.
Under 55, what it is, you don't, I wouldn't share the same values. 'Cause
Right.
we're different times.
Yes, I can understand that. Now, would you say that the geographic challenges, being single as a senior, are they different than they would be if you lived in New York?
Oh, as I said, I'm from New Jersey, and up here in New Hampshire, for me, in terms of, I like to go to restaurants, fine dining, culture, and this area is rather lacking. In many respects, I would prefer to be in New Jersey, or New York.
Right.
But as I said, I came up here, I think a lot of people come up here for family.
Right.
As I said, my sister is my only family.
Right.
And
like in my situation, because of my daughter, is why we're here. So I understand totally.
I mean, you have to really put in an effort to meet people and to find different activities, find even just good restaurants. I'm finding that's not even easy.
Right.
To find good restaurants.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
I like ethnic food, like Indian food. 10 minutes from where I lived, there would be 5, 6 restaurants.
Right.
Now I'm traveling, a half an hour to find one.
Right.
And it's nowhere near as good as what I'm used to.
Right. Right.
So
no, it's understandable that you would. It is harder, I would think, to. I think if you belong to social clubs,
right,
and you go to even like the YMCA, even though people are focused on their exercise, you can meet people if that's what you're looking to do.
And also, too, as you get older, I think you have your own group of friends, and sometimes people don't want to include you or bring them into their group.
Right.
They've had these friends for years.
Exactly.
And they're not looking for any other friends.
Exactly.
And in other people, they have their own people, my age would have their own siblings, own grandchildren.
Right.
And children.
Right.
So many people, I think our age, are already engaged with their own social circle.
Right.
So sometimes people my age are single. It's hard to break in and make friends.
Yes, I agree.
Let alone find a relationship,
Right. I agree. And the way that I've met a lot of people was really not where we live, but my ladies social club, the Seacoast Newcomers Club that I belong to. So I think that if you join different clubs, if you play pickleball or certain activities, then you can actually meet people that enjoy the things that you enjoy, and you have common interests with that person. So I think that is something that makes people, meet people that are like them.
Well, also, too, I noticed in New Hampshire, this is a place which is ideal for people who love the outdoors.
Right.
Camping, hiking, fishing,
right.
Hunting.
Exactly.
And that's not me.
Right.
I'm a New Jersey guy who grew up on the culture and the restaurants, and being Italian, I'm someone who really is really discerning when it comes to food.
Right.
So I'm more picky.
Right.
Than other people would be.
Absolutely. And I feel the same way. I mean, I enjoy exercise, I enjoy walking and biking, but as far as, I would probably enjoy hiking as well.
Yeah.
But I agree that, even just growing up in Brooklyn, where you have a choice of 5 supermarkets in walking distance and like 3 or 4 fruit stores, this is, a little bit more challenging when you are looking to find things to do and to meet people.
Oh, you have to make a big effort.
You have to make an effort.
You really do. It's
yes.
much harder in a
Yes.
state like New Hampshire
Right.
than New Jersey, New York. But I also think as you get older, it just is harder to make friends.
Yes, absolutely. I definitely agree. It is harder because, like you said, people are, especially people that have lived in the same area, all their life.
Right.
And here we are moving into this, luckily this is a new community where we live, brand new homes. So everybody's moving into the same situation, which is a good thing. But again, when you're from New York and you're not from New Hampshire, you're always a bit of an outsider, even when you live here. Am I right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And as I said before, in terms of relationships, the people are very engaged and busy with their grandchildren.
Yes.
And they have their friends.
Right.
And as you get older, you get set in your ways.
Yes, absolutely. It's harder to do things that you would normally do when you're younger because you're set in your ways of thinking and what you enjoy and what you don't want to do at this stage of life. At this stage of life, you want to enjoy yourself. You want to be around positive energy, people that elevate you, not bring you down.
And you have issues of illnesses.
Right, exactly.
People in our age group or older, they're dealing with health issues, and meeting and dating is not really on their mind.
Right. So, I think companionship is wonderful. If you can find someone that you enjoy spending time with and that you share the same likes, on what you want to do. Like you explained, you like fine dining, you like going to the ballet or the
art museums
and things like that, So I think that finding someone that has your interests is definitely on top of the list of what you want when you're looking for somebody that you potential relationship with.
And as you said, it's hard. It's hard.
Yes.
It's hard to really find somebody.
Yes.
You could join groups.
Right.
But it's not easy to break into groups.
No, it isn't.
As you get older.
Right. You have to really make an effort and really want it. So you go and you put yourself out there and you say, hey, I'm out here and whatever's going to happen is going to happen, but I'm going to try and make it work. I'm going to try to meet people. And that's how I got to meet the friends that I have here.
Right.
By putting myself out there and saying, I don't care, I'm going to do it. I feel awkward. I'm walking into 250 women. I don't know anyone, but you got to push yourself sometimes.
You make an effort, and
Yes.
at a certain point, you're going to realize whether it works for you or not.
Right.
Because you might not like the group.
Right.
Not even forget about whether they like you or want to include you.
Exactly.
So I think you have to try many groups.
Right.
Just do that.
Right. I agree. I think that that's really important.
You have other options. You could do online dating.
Yes. And have you tried online dating, Greg?
Not since my last girlfriend.
Okay.
I met her online on Match.
Oh, okay.
And I was with her for about 6.5 years.
Nice.
But I've been out of a relationship. I've had one for about 4 years.
Okay. And would you suggest that people go online dating versus meeting someone in a supermarket? Because supermarkets seem to be the place to meet people.
Well, I think you do two options. One, you can go online which I think is a good idea.
Mhm.
And also, if you're just more social, put yourself out there in social situations, that's good too, but you have to be that type of personality.
Right, right. Exactly.
Not everyone has that personality where they could go in a social situation and ask somebody out.
Right, right. So I guess my question would be, do you find it harder to approach someone today versus when you were younger? Is there a difference between meeting someone at our age versus, say when we were 20 or 30 and we were out there, or whatever?
Well, for me personally, I'm an outgoing person.
Right, that's good.
Right,
That's a
yeah.
good thing.
So I don't think it's any different for me
Good,
than when I was younger to now.
right. I think that's great because a lot of people can't say that they feel comfortable going out and meeting someone. I think,
I just think the availability of the women that I would be looking for, or I don't like to use the word baggage,
right,
because we all do, we all have
right,
it.
at our age.
But today, at our age group, like I said, you're dealing with people who have illnesses, they're involved with their children, grandchildren, and so they're not exactly, many are just people our age, I just don't think are really in that frame of mind even to look for somebody. Or they're grieving from an ex-husband or
Right,
wife, which
right.
I think is important. That's
Yes.
something we didn't discuss.
Yes, that is something that we didn't discuss. That at our age, that is something that a lot of people are experiencing, and it takes them time, and it could take years. For them.
Years, or if ever.
Right.
Sometimes if you found the love of your life, you can't even imagine
No.
going out with someone else.
No, you can't. And I do know people, that have experienced the love of their life and have lost them. And it's very hard to put yourself out there when you've had like a great person.
And you'd also too, you don't know, you have adult children that are protective of their parents.
Right. Right.
I mean, obviously a new person coming into their mother or father's life,
Right.
a good responsible child is going to be concerned about whether this person is right for their mom or dad.
Absolutely. And they should be.
Absolutely.
Because, there are a lot of, I'm trying to keep this on a positive note, but the reality is there are a lot of gold-digging women and, men that take advantage of women and vice versa. So, you have to really notice the red flags when you're meeting someone new. I mean, especially at this age, because you want to know that someone is in a relationship because they love you, not because of what they could get from you. Am I right?
As you get older, life gets more complicated in general.
Yes, I agree.
And certainly with dating, at our age, it is complicated.
Yes, yes. And I think it's also because at our age, we've experienced so much of life that we know what we want and we know what we don't want.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a good thing. That's a good thing.
It is.
Because it could be, there are pros and cons. It could be a great thing, but then you're also more picky to who you're going to give your time, your heart, and everything.
Well, and as you get older, the availability of persons becomes smaller.
Absolutely.
Big difference
Yes.
between what's available when you're 60 than when you're at 80
That's
or
right.
75.
That's right.
And also, too, is I think for women it could be a little more difficult because men tend to die younger
Yes.
than
Yeah.
women. So there's really a glut of women on the market as people
Yes.
get older and older. age segment.
That's right. I think there's, don't quote me on this, but I think there's like 3 women to every man when you get older.
Right.
You know, because...
well, I would say in your early 60s, it's already
yes.
the women outnumber the men.
Yes, right. Even when you think about where we live, right? I mean, there's a lot of single women here.
Many of the single women, their husbands have died within the last 3 years.
Right. Since we moved here.
Since we moved here.
That's right. A lot has changed since we first moved here, and that's not that long ago.
So I think in some ways, if you want to say men have an advantage in the dating market as you get older.
Yes.
In terms of the numbers game, there's an advantage.
Right.
But you still, as a man, have to have yourself together, your life together.
Right.
Doesn't matter whether it's 3-to-1 ratio.
That's right.
You don't have your life together, you're not going to attract a woman.
No. No. Absolutely. I agree. I agree totally. Yeah, this has been very interesting. I'm trying to think of if I have any other questions that I wanted to ask you, Greg. I think we discussed a lot of the questions. Yeah, I think we answered all the questions that we had that we wanted to discuss today on this video. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, sure was.
Thanks,
Patricia. Thanks for the invite.
I hope you enjoyed our conversation with my friend Greg. And I hope all of you, go out and give it a try. Go out and try to meet someone, even as just a companion. Somebody that you can have as a friend to enjoy anything, even breakfast, right? Even going to breakfast.
It's more about companionship than anything else.
I think it's more about having a good friend that you trust, that you can have fun with, and of course that you have common interests. And I was telling Greg earlier that I was watching something on YouTube where it said that you should list 7 of your top qualities that you find are important to you. And say, for example, honesty, loyalty, kindness, caring, all of these things are important to you. You should look at this potential person that you want to date or that you want to have some sort of companionship with, and make sure that the person that you choose has the qualities that you have and would like in a person. So if anything, think about that when you're meeting someone, and pay attention to those red flags, because a lot of people ignore them for years and years and years. And we don't have that many years left. So pay attention when you meet people. Thank you so much today for being on my channel.
Thank you so much for the invite.
Thank you, Greg. And thank you for watching, everyone. I enjoyed having Greg as a guest, and I hope you enjoyed this video and subscribe to my channel. I love you, friends. Thank you for watching today. Take care.